Hi everyone. Today we're going to be talking about identifying functions. So a function is a line where every input, also known as an x value, has only one output, also known as a y value. So what we're looking for are points within the graph. We want to make sure that each point has an x, or where an x value is, that only one y value is with it. So let's see how that is with a graph. So taking a look at this graph, if I follow along the x-axis, I see that this x value only has one y value with it because my point is right here. There's no other points along my dotted line with this x value. Continuing on, this also doesn't have any other y values but this point right here. And continuing on, all of these points within this line, so all these x values, only have one y value with it. So this is a function. Now let's take a look at this graph. This graph kind of has that zigzaggy type of line. But if I go along my x-axis, I see that my x value of -1, it has a y value of about 3.5 and a y value of about 1. Uh-oh. Since I have two y values, this is not a function. So identifying functions on a graph is very easy with what is called the vertical line test. It is a test to determine if a graph is a function or not. To do this, you want to place a vertical line, like your pencil, and run it across the graph from side to side. If the line crosses more than once at any point, it is not a function. So let's do that with this first example. Just like I did visualizing or saying it out loud, I can visualize it. So I have my vertical line, which is my pen. If I go across my graph, I see that every time I move my pen across, I am only crossing that dotted line once. So that means it's a function. Now if I do that with this graph, uh-oh, I have hit those same points again. There's actually another one down here that I missed too. But since I am crossing that dotted line more than once with my vertical line, that is not a function. So we can also identify a function from points. So this is one representation of how you might see points. What you're looking for is for every x value to have one y value. So in my x column, I see the values 2, 4, 6, and 8. Great, none of those repeat. So that means that this is a function because I have 2 with the y value of 3, that's 1 point, 4 with the y value of 5, 6 with the y value of 7, and 8 with the y value of 9. None of these x values are going to another y value. So perfect, that is a function as well. Now let's take a look at this one. I have the point 3, 1 and 3, 2. Uh-oh, that should be a sign right there to say that this is not a function. Because my x value 3 goes to 2 different y values. It goes not only to 1, but also to 2. Another way you're going to be presented with functions and non-functions are with arrows. So again, we have our x values and we have our y values. In this case, we have the x values of 3, 6, and 9. 3 has a y value of 4. 6 has a y value of 2, and 9 has a y value of 4. Again, I'm only concentrating on my x values. And the 3, 6, and 9 do not go to any other y value besides 1. So that means that this is a function. Now let's look at this example. This time, I have the 3 not only going to the y value of 2, but also to the y value of 4. That means that it is not a function. Remember, it's very, very important to concentrate on the x values. X values cannot repeat, but y values can, when you are determining if it is a function or not a function. The last part we're going to be talking about today is finding a point from this, and this is called function notation. Function notation is when you have a letter, parentheses, a number, and equal to something else. We will be doing this coming up, or working with this a little bit more, I should say, but let's just get the basis of what I'm talking about. So I have f of 3 equals 1. So when you have parentheses like that, we refer to it as f of whatever number's in it. Sometimes this is not f, sometimes this could be g, h, i, j, k, literally any letter. So when I'm looking at this, what is inside the parentheses is my x value. Always, 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 whatever is in the parentheses is the x value. And then whatever is outside the equal sign is going to be the y value. So if I asked you to create a point from this, I would know that the 3 inside the parentheses is going to be my x value. My number outside the equal sign is going to be my y. So my point is 3, 1. Thank you for listening. Please look at the written notes. This is all written out for you, exactly what I said, because what I said is important. So please make sure you look at those written notes and you understand the concept, because things are just going to get a little more complicated than this.